everybody to the podcast. Don't know what episode it is. I didn't get that situated. When I'm on a new shift and everything, I'm kind of just everywhere. But we're going to talk about WrestleMania 41 and the 14 matches. I think that's confirmed at this moment. We're probably going to have like one or two more thrown in there or something. Um, but with my great co-host Felix, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Very tired because like I said to you before we started going live. My work has also been funny with my shifts the past couple nights. So, yeah, I my sleep schedule's all over the place. So I'm a bit like out of sorts as well myself. But apart from that, no, I can't really complain. Been a good day for me today in terms of the news I've seen today, which I'll touch on way later in the stream. And yeah, life is pretty good at the moment. So yeah, I can't really complain, and I'm very excited. This is like probably my favorite time of the year, with combined from wrestling and football with WrestleMania week, and it's getting to the end of the Premier League season football wise, and yeah, end of the Champions League as well. Although we're not in the Champions League anymore, but it's still very exciting times in the Champions League in terms of the teams left in it. So yeah, very exciting time of the year for me always this time of year. Like from January to like start of April, end of April into the start of May, always my favorite time of the year in terms of my passions and when it's the most exciting. So yeah, proper hype for WrestleMania and there's some matches on the card that I'm like, like I couldn't be asked, but like there are some matches on here that I am really excited for. So yeah, it should be a good WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're not going to jump right into WrestleMania talks, but with this curtain WrestleMania, but I will say, and I think it feels like this is a notion for a lot of people during this WrestleMania build and stuff like that. Some of it might have started off slow, some of it, well, actually, a lot of it started off slow for me, and then I knew it gradually. Triple H with how he books and everything. He'll start it off slow, and then it's like boom, 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 like
Mm,
before you know it, you're like, oh damn, this feels like a very good build, and it's just because he don't want to give all of it in one notion, and
mm,
like very quickly. That's just how he does it. Now, now the old man, and I don't want to bring him up, but you can tell the difference in styles because Vince would absolutely just probably give you a big thing like really quickly. Okay, well, I'm glad we could do this. But overall, in general, I think this has been a decent build, and I I think it's unfair if you want to try to compare it to last year's because I don't think it's going to beat last year's no matter what. Just
It's gonna
overall,
be it's gonna be very hard for this Mania to beat last year's. Although there are some matches on this card that, if done well, can be just as good as last year, match quality wise.
yeah.
Because I found last year's Mania wasn't the best in terms of match quality. Just the hype around the matches were a lot bigger last year. Um, and the match quality was still good last year, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't like you weren't going out of that WrestleMania mind blown with some of the matches that happened. Like apart from maybe the main event, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, there wasn't that many matches coming out of that you were like, holy shit, that was an amazing match. You know, the kind of like the WrestleMania 2 years ago was very good match quality wise. Like we put like what 3, 4 matches of that show in our like top 10. Like it was
I, it
crazy.
it had to be at least three matches from both of us, or at least four. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
And
Whereas last year I think it was only like two. So like we'll see how many we get from this Mania. But yeah, I think there'll be a few. I think there will be at least 2 or 3 matches from this that we could potentially have in our top 10. I feel like that'll happen.
I do agree. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone to the stream. Greatly appreciate it for you being here. If you hit that like button, that's really all I ask. You don't have to subscribe. If you do, greatly appreciate it, but you don't have to. Just hitting the like button just helps out overall. We're going to start off with just talking about this top 50 list from WrestleMania. Not all of the lists, but just a few highlights and stuff like that. I find it funny. 50 is Cody Rhodes' return against Seth Rollins, which was a really good match. But you think of WrestleMania and you're just like, you know, when you do a top 50 list, it's crazy to see the listing of what they do and having and don't get me wrong, you know, I'm one of the biggest Brock Lesnar dudes minus, the stuff, that's still not really resolved, but I'm going to try to go past that. Him and Goldberg at 47, it was at WrestleMania 33 was probably the best 6 minute match that you could see in a while because they went all out for the 6 minutes. Because if I remember that, I look on that show, and I used to do this, and it was crazy because I don't have enough time for that. Your thoughts on the Rock Cody potential feud? We gonna talk about that, but I don't know if it's going to happen because of the Rock schedule. I don't know what the hell. No one knows what he's doing. Okay, he's just he's a mystery. We know he's going to be there at WrestleMania. There's no doubt, but we don't know what the hell they're going to do with that. But on WrestleMania 33, I remember I went back and this is how much time I had used to. I would
Hmm.
rewatch a lot of the shows, do my little star rating like Meltzer, and I remember doing the time for each match. It was under 6 minutes for Goldberg and Brock, and I remember it, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy remembering some of these matches. Um, but I don't know if you've seen this. Who do you think is the most three individuals on this list? I mean, if you think WrestleMania, you know one name, but
Undertaker.
he's the first on this list.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna guess Shawn Michaels,
Yep. And then the third,
Triple H.
ding 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 ding. Taker had 8, and then the other two had 7. I think of this list. Let's see. I think Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus, one of the matches on WrestleMania 39 that we were talking about earlier, should be higher than 39. To be honest.
Yeah, that match got done a little dirty. Like I feel like that match should have been
Okay,
at
look.
least below 30. Like it should have been like in the 20s for me.
Okay, so personally, and I know you had that tag team match with the Usos and Owens and Sami Zayn higher than Gunther in them, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I put that as
Okay.
my
Personally,
match of the
personally,
year.
okay. Personally, I didn't. So I had, and I had it low. I get it, but it's just how I preferred the matches. 39, and then the Usos and them are at 30, which is crazy. So you're telling me there's a 9 match difference with these? I don't think so. It's a lot closer. I mean, personally, I have Gunther and them ahead of them, but like just seeing the 9 match like difference with uh where they're at, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy
What
to me.
what I find crazy, and I know this match is up pretty high, but I feel like it should be even higher. The Undertaker versus Triple H Hell in a Cell from WrestleMania 28. That's at number 18. How is that not top 10? Like that is one of my favorite WrestleMania matches ever. I honestly don't know how that's not top 10. How is, for example, how is Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior better than that match? Or well, this is a prime example right here. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch got number 10. Are you telling me that match is better than The Undertaker versus Triple H, or Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, or Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, or any of the Stone Cold versus The Rock matches. Like, you're smoking crack if you're gonna tell me with a straight face that Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch is better than any of those matches. Any of them. That
I
match
think.
doesn't deserve to be in the top 30, let alone in the top 10.
Well, I'm gonna let it rest. I'm gonna let it rest at the top 25 at least. I'm not gonna put it down beneath that just because it was the first main event the women's wrestled, and it was a decent match, but there were so many iffy spots. I'm gonna just say it like that: iffy spots.
It just wasn't that good. Like it was all right, it was decent, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't a WrestleMania main event that we're all look back with great fondness and go, "Oh, what a
No,
match that
no,
was!"
no, no. We always think about, okay, cool. That's the first main event that the women's wrestled,
Yeah,
and
and
everything.
the fact that Becky Lynch got her moment, but even Becky Lynch getting her moment isn't exactly truly fantastic because the finish was botched.
Yeah, the finish was terrible. I don't, and that's just honestly, if this match and at that time, if Triple H, what's up, man? If Triple H was over this match, I guarantee you, I'd probably be fine with it being in the top 15 because I bet the match would have been done better because Vince wouldn't have any say so.
Hmm. Like they're pretty much saying because like is there any other women's matches in that top 10? No, there isn't. So they're pretty much saying that that triple threat WrestleMania main event between the women is the best women's match in WrestleMania history. Absolutely not. Like Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair is better than that match. Sasha
It
Banks
is.
versus Bianca Belair is better than that match. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair is better than that match. You can list many women's matches in the years of WrestleMania that is better than that triple threat women's match. I'm sorry, but that's just facts.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha from WrestleMania 32, I feel like is better than that match too.
I was just about to say it's not even the best triple threat women's match in WrestleMania history. Like that goes to the WrestleMania 32 one. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
I just don't know what they were thinking with putting that at number 10.
Another one I gotta bring up is why in God's creation, why in God's creation is Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon 21 on this list? Dog,
I
21?
I literally just saw that. It's just above Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. You kidding me? You kidding me?
Bro,
Nah.
look, I think this is the most you're telling me this tag team gimmick matchup is better than what we saw with Gunther, Drew, Sheamus, the damn, and then the tag team match with the Usos and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I mean,
That
um,
that that's just crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy. Like, all right, another one. Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. Ric Flair's retirement match. That's only at number 34. Like,
the
what?
I try to look past that because that's one of my I think that's one of my favorite storytelling matches overall with how they did the storytelling and they did the match. How they did the match and everything, it deserved to be in the top 25 for me. Now,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you want to put it, but 34 I'm going to stay away from that match because it'll get me started. But let's just look at the top 10, well, minus number 10 because we've already talked about it. Ultimate Warrior Savage, I don't know about it. You know, look, when it comes to old time wrestling like that, I didn't get to watch it and everything. It's a
Mm,
different era. Now, if I seen a match like that nowadays, people would be booing. So that's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say. I get
That
Hogan. I get Hogan, Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3. I'm not gonna be mad at that. I'm not a Hulk Hogan fan by all means, but I do understand it being in the top 10 with the moment. we
Yeah,
have.
the body slam moment. Yeah, yeah.
I do understand.
Dudley's versus Hardy's versus Edge and Christian definitely deserves to be in the top 10 because that is one of the craziest matches in WrestleMania history. With
Wrestling has evolved so, dude, you're not lying.
yeah,
You are
yeah,
not
true
lying.
that,
It has
true
evolved
that.
a lot. But yeah, the Dudleys, Hardys, man, Edge and Christian, those they do get a lot of appreciation, but I still don't think they get as much appreciation for those matches that they did, man. They
Hmm.
did. They those matches were so good. Roman Cody from last year's WrestleMania, I'm not mad at it being at 6 for sure. I That's just me. I'm not really
I
mad about it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I mean, I think it's a bit of recency bias to put it all the way at number 6 and like pretty much regard it as one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. But like, I don't mind it because I do love this match, and I think for what it brought with the like all the run-ins and all the craziness, chaos, and Cody Rhodes winning the title, like it's a fantastic match. Just yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know if I would put it at number 6 or maybe even the top 10 for me, but like it's definitely high up. It's a great match.
Yeah.
The Rock with Stone Cold Steve Austin for WrestleMania 17. That is a phenomenal match. But people kind of don't give this match the true appreciation it deserves because of the finish and what led after it with Stone Cold Steve Austin being healed, and that didn't truly work. But in terms of the actual match itself, it's a fantastic match, brutal as hell as well,
Yeah.
and the moment itself was quite shocking. So and it was a big moment in Stone Cold and The Rock's career. So like I don't mind that being top 10. I feel like that is a phenomenal Rock and Austin match. Oh look, you could really debate which is better between the WrestleMania 17 match and WrestleMania 19 match. I feel like both of them are really good equally. So I feel like you could argue either. Um Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, I can't really comment much about this match because I don't know this match very much.
Well,
So
the one thing I will say is, if you hear all these like some upcoming and some old wrestlers, they talk about how many good matches Steamboat had, and I think that's where I've kind of not failed, but should probably watch some of his matches because a lot of people talk about how technically good he was, and
mm,
that just reminds me of maybe like watching like a Daniel Bryan, a Gunther, just technically wrestle. So that's one thing I think I failed on, just as a whole. But yeah, we can't talk about that because it's sometimes I don't have the time of day to go back and watch this stuff, and I wish I
mm.
would. Rock
The, Ro-
Hogan, I get it. Rock and Hogan with 3, I get it a little bit because the crowd kind of made this, but it was still a good match. So
Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin goes without saying. Like that is one that is like definitely like top 5. Like it's one of the most iconic WrestleMania matches of all time, and it being a number 2, I can't disagree with it. Pretty much made Stone Cold's career
yeah,
like what it is now. That was the catalyst for it. And Bret Hart is just Bret Hart. Like he's always fantastic. So yeah, I can't really disagree with that. And yeah, of course, number 1 was going to be Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, widely regarded as the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. The two of the greatest wrestlers to ever grace WrestleMania going at it for the streak. That always was going to be number 1. I feel like they did pick the right one to be the top one.
yeah. I just I don't think you can really go with something different for for number 1 because that match is legit very very good. Um, but that's all about the list. I just wanted to go over some of the points, like just some that just you just look at and you're like, this listing is kind of not the best, but that's
Although
WWE. That's
one more I will mention is The Rock versus Cena from WrestleMania 28 being only number 48. Like, how is it that far down? It's two of the biggest icons in wrestling history going at it, and their WrestleMania 28 match was better than the 29 match, in my opinion. So I feel like that should have been higher. Like, sure, was it the best technical wrestling match? No, but in terms of the spectacle it was, and what once in a lifetime, even though it happened twice,
Yeah.
um,
It
just for the moment it was at the time, and The Rock getting the win over Cena at the time was just so huge for both of them, and especially for Cena's career and the storyline over the next year afterwards. So yeah, I just feel like that match should be a bit higher than that, higher than 48, and that's a bit disrespectful to both of them. But I digress.
yeah, I do agree. It should be higher. I don't know how much higher, but it should definitely be higher than that. But it is what it is, I guess. Their listing of stuff sometimes really don't make much sense, but not my list. It's their list. So yes, there is 14 matches confirmed for WrestleMania 41 at this moment as we're live and everything and doing this. Um, Randy Orton versus blah 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 will probably get added or whatever they're going to do with that. That's going to happen Friday on SmackDown, I believe. Um, oh damn.
Can
What?
we can we both agree on something? Night two looks so much better than night one.
I'm looking at it right now. Um, yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what? You would have thought they could add like Damien Drew or AJ and Logan to night one and make it like little bit
A
more
little bit
even.
even. Yeah, like honestly, like I look at the difference between both nights, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like I know night two is normally the better looking show in terms of on paper, but God, like seriously, the difference. Like night one, I just see like a couple toilet breaks in there, and I'm just like, okay. And then night two, I'm just like, okay, this one's actually pretty stacked.
Uh, yeah, 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 night one. I hope they better add Randy's match to night one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Um, hmm.
Like,
you
like
said toilet.
honestly.
You said toilet breaks, and that got me dying so lot because you're not really wrong. But okay, okay. All right, let me. All right, night one. So there's 14 match. Okay, so we got Randy to be added. Do we have another match to be added? I feel like I'm missing one.
um,
They well, you know what I wish they did, and WrestleMania 39 is damn near almost a top five WrestleMania for me. In the sense of the set, stage, all that was amazing.
mm.
The match quality and everything was good. The crowd was good, stuff like that. You know what I think this show would absolutely need? Why are the Street Profits and them defend the tag team titles on SmackDown? They should be at WrestleMania. The tag team division on SmackDown should be on the show. Why am I seeing the War Raiders and the New Day? Because the SmackDown tag team division, you remember Nick Aldis doing that damn video where he was going from team to team and doing all that. I haven't seen Adam Pierce do anything like that for any of these damn teams on
I
Raw.
I have a theory for why they have the War Raiders and the New Day at WrestleMania, and I'm gonna mention it when we get onto it. I know I didn't make a theory pine as in like I predict theory is gonna get involved or anything. No, 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 nothing like that. Nothing like that. But yeah, I do have a prediction as to what's gonna happen in that match that sort of justifies why that's on the card. So we'll see.
But I'm gonna say this. I think on Friday when that tag team match is going on, I think all the teams get involved, and I think they do a multi-man ladder match for the SmackDown tag team titles, and probably on night two because it can't be on night one where um the other tag team match is. So night two is going to just be low. I think that's what they're going to do because you can't leave off the SmackDown tag team titles when
Thing
they've.
is, like, there's 14 matches already confirmed. How many more matches can you fit on the card?
Well,
Like,
you got to fit Randy, and you can throw that on night one, and throw this tag team title match, ladder match on night two. It, this is the only time Triple H will go all out with matches because he under.
true. I mean, true. I mean, I forgot how many matches were at WrestleMania last year and the year before, but we'll see how many matches there are this time around. So the 14 that you mentioned, is that not including Randy's match?
That's not including Randy.
Okay, so including Randy's match, that's 15. So
So,
there
so
might be one more.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking they're going to even it up. They you kind of want to have even matches on each night.
Yeah. Unless they're gonna have one more match happen at night two, just to make night two even more fucking bigger than night one. Um I don't
No,
know.
no,
But
no, 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 no. They got to throw Randy's match on night one. I know Randy probably deserves not a night two, but this man got to be thrown on night one because this card needs night one. Okay.
I think it will go to night one. I think Randy's match will go to night one.
Um.
Um
What do you think his match is going to be?
I was just about to say, should we touch on that match first, considering we're focusing so much on about it?
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
I feel like there's a couple things that it could be. So all right. So let's get some let's get some I guess ones out there. The most boring one, the one that was teased, Solo Sokoa, which I do
I
not want it to be.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they
No,
just threw that out.
I feel like that was like a decoy that WWE was being like, oh, it's going to be Solo. Let's tease it be Solo, and then have it not be Solo. So it could be Solo, but I don't think it is. It would be the most boring one to go with. It could be Nick Aldis because that is what they also teased a little bit with Nick Aldis, with Randy. One that could be really good and shocking, and one that I would really like to see, is a surprise return for Aleister Black. Now, that, because obviously they have been teasing Aleister Black with those like vignettes for weeks now. But would they have them return at WrestleMania against Randy Orton of all people? I don't know. Like, does it make sense for him to return against Randy Orton specifically? I don't really think so. If you want my prediction, my number one prediction, I think it's gonna be Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis is gonna fucking get in the ring and wrestle Randy. That's what I'm thinking right now. So if it is that, then I think Randy's just going to win. I think no matter who it is, unless it's Aleister Black, if it's Aleister Black, then Black wins. But if it's Solo, then Randy wins. If it's Nick Aldis, Randy wins. I think Randy wins no matter who it is, unless it's Aleister Black.
Okay, so I think the fans are very intelligent nowadays. So they know in the back burners you got a potential Nick Aldis, you got a potential Aleister Black, and someone that is not really getting named, which I could see them do, and Randy still win, as a returning Rusev and everything.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, that's
So
a
so
shout.
so I could see that too. I I guess it really depends what route they want to do it. If Nick is able and ready to go, I think they'll go that route. I think it makes sense with him getting RKO twice, the tension with Randy. Um, but I don't think they're going to go that route. I don't think they're going to go that route. But if they do go that route, Randy's winning. I'm going to go the route of Rusev returning. I don't think that I don't think you want Alistair to return against Randy and then have Randy lose, because you got to realize, and I might be going to Backlash in St. Louis, which is just it's a little hefty drive, but Backlash is 3 weeks away from after WrestleMania. Actually, 3 weeks right now, I think, or something like that. Um, they're in St. Louis for the show. That's Randy's hometown. Randy is not losing at WrestleMania. He's going to have something big at St. Louis for Backlash. So you got to think about it like that. So I don't think I see Aleister Black being his opponent at all. Now I would
Hmm.
love to see it, but I neither one of them can lose in that match, and one of them has to at WrestleMania. So, so with that being said, I think it'll be a returning Rusev. I think both. I think Rusev will look very good in defeat. I know it's not ideal to have someone return and lose, but in this case, I think it would be all right. But nonetheless, I think whoever Randy's facing, Randy's winning. I don't think he's losing.
Hmm.
I don't think
Okay.
he's losing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my Nick Aldis prediction. I feel like it's gonna be Nick Aldis, and I think Randy's gonna win.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Oh boy. Okay, not one. I think we'll enjoy talking about not two a lot better. But Jay Card. Okay, hold on. Jay Cargill versus Naomi. Um, I love, I absolutely love Naomi's heel work. I liked her work before being a heel. I think she has done very, very good in the last. I want to say I said this on the last podcast a little bit. I feel like she's done really good in the last couple of months with whatever they've gave her. I think, in those segments where a lot of women are talking, she sounds like the most natural one talking. She don't sound scripted or something like that, even though she probably is, but like she makes everything seem natural. And I think this heel turn's going to do wonders for her, but she's definitely not winning against Jade. So, and I think she can afford a loss because I think they go and push her after this anyways to maybe one of the mid card championships or something. So, talking about the mid card championships, it is a travesty, and she's on night 2, and I'm glad she's still on the show, but it's a travesty that Lila is not defending the Intercontinental Championship, Women's Intercontinental Championship on this show. She has done a hell of a job with it and whatnot. But
I
yeah,
just
go ahead.
I I just think with the whole women's mid card titles, I just think they're a victim of too many women's championships in the company. I just I feel like in order for two women's mid card championships to have enough people to really go for it, storylines and all that, and fit on cards, you're gonna need to either get rid of the women's tag team titles, which I feel like they should just do anyway because there's never enough tag teams, or and there's a reason why they have the women's intercontinental champion in the women's tag team championship matches because they don't have tag teams. They have to unite Bailey and Lyra Valkyria as just a makeshift tag team to challenge for the titles. They don't have actual tag teams. Um, so I feel like they should just like either get rid of the women's tag team titles completely, or unify both women's championships and just have one women's championships and then two mid card championships. Either do one of either or do both. But I feel like the route I go with is just abolish the women's tag team titles.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you have enough storyline driven if you have the mid card championships and the world women's championships, and just abolish the women's tag team titles because look, these women's tag team titles, minus like a few tag teams that they created and done, like Liv and Raquel makes perfect sense. They work. It makes perfect sense. Um, but you don't have perfect sense with a lot of tag teams, like overall in general. You have maybe one or two that you're like, minus Liv and Raquel, you have one or two you're like, okay, that's a true tag team. They've worked together for a while. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense. But so we don't get very much off topic. Um I hope Jade and Naomi is good, but we'll see. I think the obvious winner is Jade, and I'm guessing you're going Jade as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be Jade. I do agree that Naomi has been fantastic in her new heel role. In fact, I'd say this match has been one of the best matches in terms of build up, purely because of Naomi. I mean, Jade has been good too, but Naomi's been the star of this feud,
Hmm.
and just the promo work she's done and the character work she's done with this new heel role, and she definitely has a big future in the division in it, and she could definitely roll with it and get a big push after this match. But yeah, unfortunately, she's just not going to beat Jade because they're just building Jade to be this big dominant force, and she's definitely going to be a women's champion in the next like couple years at least. So yeah, it's going to be Jade winning. I feel like for this match to be truly amazing, this needs to be like physical. This needs to be like a fight. Like I'd like this to be physical because like that's what this feud has been based off, like pure hatred and like how badly Naomi got beat up by Jade in the Elimination Chamber. That's the sort of stuff I want to see in this match. Just beat the shit out of each other. But yeah, ultimately Jade will win, and but Naomi won't get. Naomi won't lose too much from this. Like she won't be damaged too much by this loss because like she's done so well in this feud that she'll just be able to push past the loss and then do even more good things in other feuds and like you said possibly even go for a mid-card women's championship or something like that. So yeah, Jade for the win.
Yeah, I agree. um, let's go to the United States Championship match. L.A. Knight defending
Yeah.
against Jacob Fatu. I think if they didn't interact so much in this last few months, I think I would be excited for this match, like more excited.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's just me or not. I don't know. I love both of these guys, and everything, but I would be more excited if they just didn't interact so damn much the last little bit.
I'm just not that excited for this match. Like when I think of like dream matches for Jacob Fatu or people that I want to see Jacob Fatu come up against, LA Knight is not one of those people that I'm just like, oh, yeah, I want to see this match. I want to see this like colossal match. Like I want to see Jacob Fatu like either with other big men like him or like even some like high flying guys like so he can be a big guy but still like high fly along with like some high flyers. Like I just feel like I don't know. Like I don't feel like their styles will clash very well. At least not on paper. I mean, they might surprise me. Who knows? But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just not as excited for this match that I just feel like I would be if it was someone else in this match with Fatu and not LA Knight. Um, but yeah, with that said, I think Jacob Fatu is going to win the title because, like, I know LA Knight has only just won it back like somewhat recently, but we've seen LA Knight hold the title for decently long before, and I feel like Jacob Fatu does deserve a title run with how good he's been since he's debuted, and he's just so good. So, and I feel like he can have a really good title reign with the US title in terms of in ring, working with many different people. So, yeah, I think Jacob Fatu is going to win his first singles title.
Yeah, I agree. This rides Jacob Fatu to definitely win against LA Knight and everything to me. I hope it's good, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, Rey Mysterio. I laugh at this because Chad Gable. If this doesn't look, if this doesn't show you how good Chad Gable is, just overall as a person, versus oh man, I just can't even say his luchador name because it's just ridiculously funny and it's dumb at the same time.
What are you talking about? It's not Chad Gable under there. It's El Americano.
Yeah, from the Gulf of America. What a stupid man. Shit's
This
so
this just
stupid.
goes to show, like, you can give Chad Gable anything, and he will find a way to make it good. Like, Chad Gable is so good at what he does. Um, with oh wait, I'll let you talk about the match first. I went first with LA Knight and Fatu. So
Um, I think this match obviously will be good. Someone's mask is definitely coming off. And it ain't Rey Mysterio's and everything. Um, oh boy. But yeah, I think Ray's gonna win this. I think it makes sense because he's just gotten his ass whooped throughout the
mm.
last couple of weeks with that metal thing and like in the mask and everything that I mean so I don't know what all is going to go around, but I can see this being a very good match, but also being very comedic, like funny and stuff like that in it. And this match is all right to me. I don't mind having something funny in this match, especially. So I got Ray winning because he's just gotten his ass whooped the last few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I've also got Ray to win. Just it just makes the most sense because, like you said, someone's mask is definitely coming off, and it's not going to be Ray's. Like, El Americano is going to be unmasked and ultimately revealed to be Chad Gable. Shocker. So yeah, Rey Mysterio's winning, and then Chad Gable's going to be exposed.
I saw a post that when Chad Gable and every and or yeah, when Chad they threw everyone out of the ring on Monday or something for getting involved. When he came back and everything, someone said, "Man, they got the same bruising or something like that." Like he
Yeah,
got
because
this,
yeah,
he
because
got
they
this
got
thing
like
on his wrist or something,
yeah,
something.
he got like a fucking like cut on his like knuckles or like bruise or whatever, and people were able to fucking suss that out. It's like, hang on a minute, and it's just like, yeah, obviously it's Chad Gable, obviously. How did you guys not notice ages ago?
But this has been fun for what it's worth. But after Mania, I want them to belt Chad Gable with some one of these damn belts.
Mm.
Got to. He got to be belted somehow, some way, because he's just done so good. And I still have distaste for him not being in that Intercontinental Championship match last year. So, um, let's see here. Okay, let's talk about the World Tag Team Championship match. We got the War Raiders, which I know earlier I said, "Man, why is this match on it?" I have the same feeling as you do with it. Um, but the War Raiders have done really good in their job, like being tag team champions. I feel like they've done maybe not the biggest story based driven, but they've delivered with their matches. I feel like with solid tag team wrestling.
Yeah,
Um,
That's the one thing I'm sort of excited for about this match is I feel like this is going to be a good match because like one thing you can count on with the New Day is they can have good tag team matches, and the War Raiders are no fucking slouches themselves. Like, like is it Eric or is it no? It's Ivar, the one who could fucking high fly even though he's a big dude.
Yeah. Or-
Y- yeah, it's just like what the like some of the things he can do for such a big man is ridiculous. It's like Jacob Fatu. It's literally like that. But yeah, like I'm excited for this match just purely because I feel like it's going to be a good match. Obviously, like storyline hype wise, I like it's just there. Like it just got made out of nowhere, but it's going to be a good tag team match. I feel, and yeah, I feel like you know what where I'm going with this in terms of what's going to happen with this match. I feel like Big E is going to make a return here, and I feel like he's going to get involved and cost the New Day. Or maybe even do a full fucking switch and turn heel himself and help New Day win and become the manager of the New Day, just like the New Day wanted. Well, no, not like the one the New Day wanted, like what Big E wanted, but he's like, you know, he turns heel along with the rest of the New Day. So it could be either or, but I just feel like the more likely outcome would be Big E costing the New Day here. So I feel like Big E returns, massive pop, and then you cost the New Day and War Raiders retain. That's what I'm going with.
So let me ask you this: if he costs them, does he get physical at all? Is he cleared, or is he just does he just help?
That I'm not sure. Um, it could go either way because it really does depend if he's cleared or not. We don't know if he is or not. So it hopefully he be cleared, and that means he can get physical. Because what a pop that would be! Like, say if the referee got taken out or something. Like, I know ref bump, but yeah. But I know like that's a cliche, but say the referee gets taken out and then Biggie's music hit, runs to the ring, like thinks, oh, like you know, he's just going to like just help the Warriors, but he's not going to get physical or anything. Like, say if it's Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston just in the ring, just like shocked about what's going on, yelling at Big E for being here and all that. Then all of a sudden he just like, I've had enough of this shit. Picks him up, big ending, and then War Raiders retained or something like that. Like that would provide such a huge pop. So I don't know. That's what I'm hoping would happen because I would love to see Big E deliver a big ending to either of Big E or Kofi Kingston. Like that would be so good. So yeah, I'm hoping that would happen, but we'll see. But I do think Big E shows up here and War Raiders retain.
Just because of the uncertainty of if he's going to be cleared or not, I'm just going to say he's going to help the Raiders. I I
Mhm.
I would love. I would love. I think he's still going to get a big pop, no matter if he barely helps them or gets physical.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a big thing if he gets physical. You're like, oh damn, he's back. But there's been no word. But you know, I think when Triple H has his little inner circle with stuff like that, he don't let a lot of stuff loose like that. If you've noticed,
Hmm.
like when Cena turned heel and everything, there he literally said in the interview there was only three people that knew, and John didn't even tell his wife.
Yeah. And wasn't Edge like a similar thing? Like when Edge returned from his injury, he didn't tell anybody that he was going to return. Like I don't even think Beth Phoenix knew, or at least Beth, or maybe Beth Phoenix was like the only person who knew,
Uh
or something like that.
Personally, for me, if if I was in that situation, I'd be telling my wife at least and be like, wouldn't have her surprised. Hey, she'd be like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just gonna be backstage at the show and everything." And next thing you know, you hear hear the music and everything. That would be crazy. But just overall in general, they Triple H keeps it very tight with certain stuff. So something like this, if he is cleared, I could see him, staying tight with it. So and honestly, that's the best overall for me, like reaction wise and just everything in general. Um, but I totally agree with you. I think War Raiders retain here, with the help of Big E. Okay, probably, well, not probably the worst build of these matches for WrestleMania. The WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defends against Charlotte Flair.
Oh boy, where do we start with this? Where do we start with this one? Okay, so let's just get out this way. Both women have been terrible in this build-up. Charlotte more so, but Tiffany hasn't exactly been great either. Like Tiffany's had her moments, like, but yeah, this has been mostly a dreadful build-up. Like they have no chemistry whatsoever in terms of storyline building between them two. Them going off script the way they did in their promo was shocking, but like it just didn't come off the way it did. It should have, and it just came across as petty. Like especially at the end, like and Charlotte's line, like all right, Tiffany's line is sort of all right because like she just brought real life stuff into it. But Charlotte's line at the end was just like one, it's false, it was lies, and two, it's just petty. Like Tiffany, is that why Kaiser's in my DMs? And only for Kaiser to literally call her out on a tweet, being like, "Don't flatter yourself." I love
Okay,
Kaiser.
okay, let's be real. With Charlotte's line going back to Tiffany and everything, Tiffany was walking away and probably didn't even hear it for real. So
Yeah,
that's why to me, I'm like Charlotte, just leave it be. Just get burned for once and just be all right with it.
yeah. It just screamed of Charlotte just being like, "Oh, I have to get the last word in." It's just like, no, she done you with that line and then dropped the mic and then walked out, and then you just had to get the last word in, even
Okay,
though it was a shit line.
okay, so let's be honest. You look at both women. Why in the fuck would Kaiser be in Charlotte's DMs overall than Tiffany Stratton than being with Tiffany? What? What in what world are you picking Charlotte over Tiffany off looks and everything like that? In what world? No world. No world. Unless you're just forced to.
Yeah, like honestly, like that's why I never understood like why she said that line. It's just like everyone knows it's bullshit. Like not one person believed her. Not one but like normally when someone like says something that accusatory, everyone's just like, "Oh, that person better like prove themselves to be innocent." Literally no one believed her. Everyone was just like, "That is just bullshit.
Yeah.
You are spewing shit." Not one person believed Charlotte when she said that line. But yeah, this has been a dreadful build up for a feud. I just hope the match makes up for it. Like the match
So
has to be good. Like not just good, great. It has to be great. It has to be like Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley levels of good. It has to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair levels of good. It has to be Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair levels of good. It has to be Charlotte Flair versus Asuka from years ago levels of good. Like it has to be that good for this feud to be justified. Because and also they started this feud in the worst possible way too, because like everyone wanted to see this match. Sure, like this was like the match it was sort of building up to Charlotte and Tiffany, like Moonsault was Moonsault and all that. But they started in the worst way. No one wanted to see Charlotte win the Royal Rumble when she returned, and everyone's called it from a mile away, me included. I even though I did predict EO to win the Rumble, I always in the back of my mind was just like if Charlotte's returning and she could easily win this Royal Rumble, I would not be shocked. And Lord of behold, she did. And yeah, like no one wanted to see her win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, everyone saw her coming from a mile away. So when she did, everyone didn't like it. Everyone booed her. Everyone rebelled against it. And to make it even worse, they doubled down on it and tried to make Charlotte a babyface. And like do that first promo when she come back, try to get sympathy from the crowd. No one's gonna give you sympathy. Absolutely no one was gonna give Charlotte sympathy after her coming back and winning the Royal Rumble the way she did. Like, it's just common sense. So then they have to change things around so quickly to make Charlotte all of a sudden now the heel and Tiffany the babyface, and just made the storyline a mess from the get go. So yeah, this storyline was kind of doomed from the start. As soon as Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, but like I said, hopefully they make up for it with the actual match itself. And I'm going back and forth in terms of who's going to win, because who do I want to win? Of course, Tiffany. Who do I think should win? Tiffany, because I want to see her get the big win and get the rub and all that. But who do I think is going to win? Charlotte. I think Charlotte's winning. As much as I hate to say it, I think they're going to put Charlotte over because there's three things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning championships. Unfortunately, that's just the reality. I think Charlotte's going to win because, unfortunately, with Charlotte being such a like a heel with heat, even though it might be go away heat, she does have a lot of heat behind her at the minute, and they can potentially think about using that as her as champion to build up a big baby face to dethrone her and you know get the big win, like sort of like what they did with Charlotte and Rhea, for example. It might be Tiffany regaining the title again soon after, like months down the line, chasing the title again. Who knows? It could be someone else, but unfortunately, I feel like the most likely outcome is Charlotte winning the belt, as much as I hate to say it. So I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair wins the belt, unfortunately.
Um, all the points you said, I agree with. I just want to reiterate this. Um, this match has to be good because the build has been completely awful, trash, whatever you want to say. Um, this match has to deliver, in my opinion, and I don't know if it will deliver to the point that I feel like it needs to, but I do think they will have a solid match because both compet both competitors are really good in the ring. Um, for my prediction, mm, yeah, it's back and forth, but I think this is the first match we're going to disagree. I'm going to go with Tiffany to retain.
Hopefully you're correct. I'm actually hoping I'm wrong. But like I said, in terms of who I want to win, Tiffany all the way. In terms of who I think, unfortunately, I think they're gonna have Charlotte win. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I am legitimately hoping I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Um, I believe this match. A lot of it's confirmed that it's supposed to open up the show, which makes sense. If since they're not main eventing, I'd rather them start the show, and that is Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the Royal Rumble winner Jay Uso. Now, I don't like the notion of them saying, "Oh, the Royal Rumble winner is going to main event." Can we stop saying that on television because that's not the case. That's just not the
Yeah,
case anymore.
I hate that they continue to say this every year when the Royal Rumble comes around. It's just like, oh, the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to main event WrestleMania. Most times they don't. But they used to years back, like years and years back. Like the odd time they didn't, but most of the times back in the day they did. But in the last like 15 years, how many times have the Royal Rumble winner not main event WrestleMania? Like countless. Like I feel like there's been more Royal Rumble winners that gone on to not main event WrestleMania than there has been. So it just depends. For like nowadays, WrestleMania main events, it's not based off who wins the Royal Rumble. It's based off what's the hottest storyline
Mm-hmm.
and like what is the biggest names in the match.
Wait,
Which
wait,
I
wait, which I'm completely fine with,
yeah
but they need to stop this notion. Oh, you in the Royal Rumble, you main event. No, 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 you don't. No, you don't.
yeah
Not
like
all the time.
if you're not gonna do it all the time, then don't say that it's going to
Yeah.
happen because otherwise you're gonna have disappoint some people. Like Bianca Belair is another example. Like people saying, not Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. Like Charlotte Flair's not main eventing, and neither should she. Because can you imagine if Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton main event in a Mania? God's sake, that would be terrible. But like Bianca, like people are saying Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley should have main evented night one. Would I have liked to potentially see it? Maybe, but when you compare that triple threat match to Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, there's only going to be one match that made events that time. It's
Hmm.
going to be the one with the bigger names. As big of a name as Rhea Ripley is, especially in the women's division, and she is quite mainstream, Rhea Ripley, she's not comparable to a Roman Reigns, a CM Punk, a Seth Rollins. She's not. The only one she's somewhat close with is Rollins, but even then, it's a bit of a debate. Bianca Belair and Io Sky, as much as I love Io Sky is my favorite women's wrestler on the division. Well, it's between her and Rhea. As much as I love Io, she's not even comparable to
Hmm.
any of those three in terms of popularity. So, like, as much as people want to see the women main event at WrestleMania at one of the nights, you can't just force it.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you compare that to Reigns, Rollins, and Punk, it's the bigger storyline. It has the bigger names. That has the main event. So yeah, that's why like with this whole like Royal Rumble winner should main event WrestleMania. In the past, I would have agreed with it, but I sort of don't mind that they've now gone the avenue of
Yeah.
like the main events are the biggest names going on those or the biggest storyline. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest names because you can have not as much of a bigger name, but if you have the hottest storyline going into WrestleMania, then you're probably gonna wrestle. You're probably gonna main event it or open it, which I agree with. The hottest storyline should go last because that is the one that everyone is looking forward to. Or open the show if you're not going to main event.
Yeah.
Like the hottest matches, the hottest storyline should open and close. That if I'm booking wrestling like pay-per-views or shows in general, that's how I'm doing it. So I agree with that. Just stop saying every Royal Rumble that comes around that the Royal Rumble winner is going to main event WrestleMania because most times they don't, and that's all right. That's not a bad thing necessarily. Not every single time they have to. But yeah, we're going slightly off topic. Um, Gunter and Jey Uso. Ooh. Wait, did I go first on the last one? I did, didn't I? So I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Um, I think they've made this storyline. It was like I said earlier. A lot of these storylines were slow, and then this one wrapped it up real quick. Um, I like that we saw a serious Jay 2 weeks ago. More serious Jay, and he was still serious last week to a point, but he still. I mean, he really didn't do a lot of the yeets, which I'm glad he didn't do. But this this more serious Jay, I like seeing. Um, I think this match is going to be really good, and I think it's supposed to be the opener. Um, and I think if you open up a show like this, I think you're going to have a title change. So I'm going to go with Jay winning. Um, but I would not be surprised if Gunther retained as well. So
I really thought you were gonna have Gunter retain. I honestly did. But I do agree. I do agree. Like before you mentioned Jey Uso retaining, I did have in my mind that I was going to say like I'm gonna go with the shock result, and I'm gonna go that Jey Uso wins the belt because I feel like going into this match, the favorite and the like, I guess, yeah, the favorite to win this match will be Gunter, and the one that like is most likely to win this match will be Gunter, because he's Gunter for God's sake. Um, and Jey Uso will be kind of looked as the underdog, but I don't know. Like I just feel like with how over he is, and he's been put in this sort of position where he's been going for the world title so many times and come up short so many times, especially against Roman Reigns. I just feel like there's only so many times you can put someone in that spot before they eventually win it. And I feel like if you make Jay lose one more time, I feel like you're gonna miss the ship. The ship will sail with Jay, and people will start to lose interest. Um, so, and like you said, it's opening the show room, supposedly. So, if it's opening the show, then it's probably gonna lead to a title change. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jey Uso. Will win the belt here. Although, if I was booking this, would I have Jey Uso win the belt? I don't think so. I think I would have Gunter retain if it was me booking it because I just don't see as popular as he is. I just don't see Jey Uso as a world champion. I just don't. Like he's over, but he just doesn't have it for me. Like, but take away his yeet stuff, then I just don't see what he brings main event wise. Like his matches most of the time are okay to good, but it's never amazing singles wise.
Mhm.
He's had like maybe one or two amazing matches singles wise that I can remember. Um, and obviously he's had a couple stinkers against his own brother mostly. Um, Hopefully this match will be nothing like that one, which I don't think there will be. Gunter's in the match, so Gunter will carry Jay to a phenomenal match. I feel, well, at least a great match. Um, but yeah, I do think Jay's gonna win. I wouldn't do it. I just would personally have Gunter retain. The storyline's been good. Like the storyline started off slow, but like you said, it really picked up pace, especially when Gunter attacked Jimmy while Jay was handcuffed to the ropes. And Gunter just beat the holy hell out of Jimmy in front of Jay. That elevated the story tenfold. So yeah, I just felt like Jay's going to come into this WrestleMania with something to prove, a chip on his shoulder, and I want to see Jay be fully serious in this match. Like, just basically be prepared for war because that's what's going to take to beat Gunter. You're not going to beat Gunter by messing around, doing yeet stuff, and just doing the normal stuff Jay does. You're going to have to be ready for war,
Yeah.
and like that's what I hope Jay does going into this match because if he's going to beat Gunter, I hope that's what he's going to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jay to win the title.
Um, one thing I will say, I think Jay can. I think I think if Jay showed like his more serious side more, I think a lot of people would get behind him winning, even though there's still a lot of people behind him wanting him to win.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I will say.
Another reason why I feel
What's
like
up,
they're gonna
man?
have him win. Another reason why I feel like they're gonna have him win is because they literally had him win the Royal Rumble. That was arguably the most stacked Royal Rumble in history. If you're gonna have someone gonna win the most stacked Royal Rumble match in history, you probably should have them win the title.
Yeah,
So yeah, I just feel like it's gonna make sense for Jay to win. So yeah, I feel like Jey Uso is gonna win the title.
yeah. I totally agree with that. I think if this is if I was booking this, I wouldn't have had him face Gunther many times beforehand.
Mm,
Not at that main event, that Saturday night main event. I wouldn't have him do that, and I'd probably have Gunther retain here, and I'd keep Jay chasing because that means he's only lost to Roman and then Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship and then for the world title. So that'd be three times, so he could still chase. But yeah, Jay's got to win this. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we both in agreement for Jay winning. I think okay, main event of night one: Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk with Paul Heyman on his side. That can't forget that. That's the big favor. Suppose one of the big favors. Um, you go ahead and
yeah.
talk about this.
So, surprise, surprise! This is the match that I'm most looking forward to on night one. Shocker. This is what makes night one for me. Like, if this match wasn't on night one, then most of night one I would be fucking just bored with. So yeah, this match is ultimately what I'm looking forward to on night one. Um, this match is a bit unpredictable because like this could go either way. One person, ironically, I feel like the person who's least likely to win this match is the most popular one in this match, Roman. I feel like Roman is the least likely to win this match, as shocking as that is. I just feel like he is the least likely because I think this match is going to go down to whoever Paul Heyman sides with. It's whoever he ultimately sides with by the end of the match. It could be Roman, although I feel like it's the most least likely to be Roman because then that would just be the least shocking thing. Um, it could be Punk. It could even be Rollins. It could be the big shock twist and how like because like the whole storyline has been like who's Heyman going to side with, Punk or Roman? Shock plot twist. It's Rollins at the end. Um, so I'm going back and forth between Punk and Rollins, and I think ultimately I'm going to go with Rollins. I feel like Rollins is going to get the big shock win. I think it's going to go either two ways. Either Paul Heyman is going to turn on Roman and Punk to go along with Rollins, and Rollins is the new Paul Heyman guy, or Paul Heyman is going to be so split between Punk and Roman, like so indecisive, and is going to mess both Punk and Roman up that it's going to give Seth Rollins the opportunity to slide in and get the win just by himself. Like, and sort of fuck them both over while they're both like so confuddled with Heyman's antics of like siding with both of them and sort of thing. Seth Rollins just kind of chooses his opportunity right and just sort of like an opportunistic sort of thing and wins the match. So yeah, I just feel like it makes most sense to go with Rollins here to win. Punk winning here with Heyman full turning on Roman and helping Punk win can also be a way they can go down, and I would not be upset with that. I would love to see that, in fact. But I just think ultimately, with the way the storyline has gone, I feel like the one that makes the most sense is Rollins wins, either with Heyman siding with him, or just being so indecisive with Reigns and Punk that Rollins just swipes in and gets the win by himself. That's what I think.
Um, so personally, with Paul Heyman is smart, bro. He'll go to whichever side benefits him. Yeah, that Paul Heyman's
True.
always been like that.
True.
I think Paul is going to be in the middle here. He ain't going to know what the hell he wants to do, and I'm going to go with not the safer choice. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win this as a. I think Roman's going to win here because it just seems like Roman has gotten his ass beat by whoever in this like triangle of him, Punk, and Rollins. It seems like he hasn't gotten that much of the upper hand, and I think that's why he's going to be the surprising choice to win here. I
Yeah.
don't think Paul's going to align himself with anyone. That's the feeling I have. Now, it would be interesting if he did to Seth, but I don't think he's going to align himself with anyone. I think he's just going to be conflicted with Punk and Roman and maybe little Seth, and I think who knows. But I think I got Roman winning here, and it's not really for a good reason. I just think they're going to go with a surprising thing because it feels a lot of people probably feel like it's going to be Seth or Punk to win, and I think that's where Roman is just going to win. That's my
Fair,
logic.
fair. I just don't see how the storyline progresses if Reigns wins. I just feel like if Reigns wins, there is just dead ends there, and then they all just go their separate ways, and who knows what either of them do from then on. But if Punk wins via Heyman siding with him, or Rollins wins either with Heyman siding with him, or just swiping and taking the win, there's many avenues they could go down with after Mania because of those two results happening. So I just feel like Reigns is the least likely, but I can also see a logic of like they just want to go with like I guess the most shocking outcome, like everyone's sort of expecting Rollins or Punk to win, and they just to have Roman win just to be a shock win. I just don't see how that benefits the story. But that's my only argument against it. But yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a fantastic triple threat match. Like it is probably the most stacked, most superstar studded triple threat match in WrestleMania history. So it's gotta be good.
Yeah. All right, night two. I think Roman gonna
I
lose
think
that
Roman
match.
gonna lose that match, maybe because of old memories here, or because of Paul. If he choose someone else over Roman, ignore my grammar. Yeah, I agree. Because like a way I can see Punk winning is also the same thing with how Roman lost his previous match against WrestleMania against Cody, focusing too much on Seth, and the old Shield memories and wanting to get revenge on Seth, and then Punk and Heyman just sort of swoop in and get the win. That's a way I can see Punk winning. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I go back and forth between Rollins and Punk, but I think I'm going to stick with my prediction and go with Rollins. But if Punk wins, I will not be shocked.
Night two, definitely the better card, as we talked about.
Definitely.
We'll start off with AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Not much of a story here, but we know it's probably going to be a very good match. So I'll start off. I don't think Logan needs to win here, and I think AJ needs it more, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with AJ to win. Not much to talk about here because we know it's going to be a very solid match, and I know AJ fought Shane at 33, which is still my best WrestleMania match for AJ, which is crazy to say. But I think this might top. I think this might top him and Shane because I think these two can be really good in the ring.
I was literally just about to mention this when I was about to talk about this match. Is that like yeah, there's no storyline with this whatsoever. Karrion Kross low key the highlight of that Mania belt. Yeah, Karrion Kross has been wild with his character work like the past few months. It's been mad. But yeah, about this match, there's no storyline about this match, but there doesn't need to be. This just needs to be a really good match, and I feel like it will be because Logan's really good in the ring. Love him or hate him, can't deny he's talented. And AJ Styles is AJ Styles. We know what he can do. And sure, like he doesn't have the greatest array of fantastic WrestleMania matches. Ironically, he seems to have the best matches against the lower fucking people than the highest. Like the better wrestler that he wrestles with at WrestleMania, the worse of the match. Apparently, it's weird. So yeah, like you said, the best match of WrestleMania in AJ's WWE career is against Shane fucking McMahon. Like, and he's wrestled Randy Orton, he's wrestled uh Shinsuke Nakamura, he's wrestled The Undertaker. Although The Undertaker wasn't a traditional match, it was that whole cinematic thing. But still, um, WrestleMania without Vince is boring. I disagree wholeheartedly. I do agree that the build for this WrestleMania has been underwhelming with like certain stories or certain matches of this card has had no story at all. But there still has been some good storylines in this Mania build, and last year was also Triple H, and last year's WrestleMania build was really good. So give Triple H some credit. Like he does know how to build. It's just, yeah, this one has been kind of weird, I will say. But WrestleMania without Vince is boring. Is definitely a hot take. It's a hot take and a half. Um, but yeah, I'm ultimately gonna go the same as you. I'm gonna go with AJ Styles wins here. Because Logan just doesn't need to win. Like last year, I sort of understood why Logan won because he was the champion and he just retained the U.S. title. But there's no title on the line. Logan has no reason to win. Like win or lose, he's just gonna be Logan anyway. He's
Yeah.
just gonna come back months later and just still be Logan Paul. Whereas AJ Styles, like who knows if this is gonna be his last WrestleMania? I hope not. Um, but if it is, then a big win at WrestleMania to have his last WrestleMania match would it'd be good for him. And I hope he does have a good match here because, like, even though AJ Styles had some great matches last year, including his bangers against Cody Rhodes, some people are still saying AJ Styles is washed. And I'm like, what are you looking at? AJ Styles is not washed up at all. Like all like talk about that was ruined away the second he had that 5-star classic with Cody Rhodes at Backlash, and he had another great match with Cody Rhodes at what was the other pay per view? Yeah, that Clash of the Castle, right? Yeah, Clash of the Castle. Um, so yeah, AJ Styles is not washed. Even at his age right now, he's still a phenomenal in ring talent that can have a great match with anyone. So yeah, I do. He will have a fantastic match with Logan, and this might actually be a sleeper match for a match of the night. My hope in 2025 that AJ can have a match in TNA. Hey, who knows? I mean, WWE has now the partnership with TNA, so they could happily have AJ return and do a match at TNA. That'd be really cool. I would love to see that. Like, just have a one-off like match. Maybe it's Slammiversary. Like, who knows? Like it just happen at Slammiversary. AJ Styles has a big pay-per-view Slammiversary match against a talent in TNA. I feel like that could be really cool. Who knows? But yeah, AJ Styles is going to win here, and I really do hope he has a good match here. So yeah, AJ to win.
Yeah, I agree. Street Fight, Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I think this will be a very solid match, and it's the only match stipulation I think on the entire card.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is literally the only stipulation match of the card, which is quite wild since it's WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so I think this is going to be a really, really good physical match because I love both of these guys. I love McIntyre. I love Priest. I love the character work McIntyre's been doing like the last like few months. Although McIntyre character work has been phenomenal for a couple of years now. Let's be real.
yeah.
Um, I think Damian Priest has also been really good in this feud, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see what they do here. Obviously the storyline's there for what happened at WrestleMania last year with McIntyre winning the world title and then Priest cashing in and all that. Um, so I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre to get the win. I feel like he needs to win more than Priest, and I feel like if McIntyre came out of two WrestleManias in a row looking bad against Priest, it'd just be a bad look on McIntyre. I just feel like the right storyline will be Drew McIntyre getting revenge on Priest for the previous WrestleMania. Priest got one over McIntyre last WrestleMania. McIntyre's going to get one up on Priest this WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with McIntyre to beat Priest here. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns is walking out with a win at WrestleMania. Well, that's what Tyler predicted. That's what Tyler predicted, but I went with Seth Rollins to get the win. So, but
Um,
yeah, we'll see.
I do agree with you. I think Drew's going to win. I think it makes more sense that Drew needs to win and everything, and I think Damian will be all right. Needs to win if he doesn't. I don't think it's buried, but
Not buried, but yeah, he does need to win. He needs to win a lot more than Priest does.
yeah, I do agree. Women's Tag Team Championship match: Liv Morgan and Raquel defending against Bailey and Lila Valkyria. Lila has had a very good start to the year overall. To me, I think she's been one of the highlights for me, like as just overall in general.
Hmm.
She's done really good. I think this will be a good match, even though I disagree with her not defending the Intercontinental Women's Championship. But I think it'll be a solid match. But I really just see Liv Morgan and Raquel retaining. I don't know what it is, but I see them retaining.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see any way that Bailey and fucking Lyra Valkyria is going to win the tag team titles. I smell a heel turn coming in the women's tag team, either Bailey or Lyra. I agree. I agree. I feel like a heel turn is coming. I think Bailey is more likely, but I would not be too shocked if Lyra does turn. But Lyra as a wrestler has really grown on me. I didn't know how good she was, dude. Like honestly, she's really good. And in fact, I knew she'd been good for a while because obviously she was before she was on the main roster. She was in NXT UK and then NXT, but she was at NXT UK at first, and that's when I first like saw her, discovered her, and all that. And started watching her in ring work. Immediately from her debut in NXT UK, I was just like, this woman is talented, and she's got like the look, she got the entrance, she got everything like she can to be a really good talent in the roster. So I was like, she has potential. So yeah, and she wasn't even called Lyra Valkyria back in NXT UK. She was called I forgot what her name was. Aoife Valkyrie or something like that. But yeah, she eventually changed her name to Lyra Valkyria. But yeah, she's been really good ever since the NXT UK days, and yeah, it's just so good to see how far she's come since the NXT UK days. Sort of similar to Rhea Ripley to a lesser extent. Like I just love seeing loads of people who come from NXT UK or NXT in general just go up to be stars, like Rhea and Lyra Valkyria. Um, one that I would love to Gunter as well because he came from NXT UK. Um, one that I would like to see push more though is Pete Dunne, man. Like Pete Dunne was the star of NXT UK back in the day, and he's just on the main roster not doing much. Yeah, definitely caught me off guard, mainly because I haven't been watching NXT in a while. Yeah, no, that's fair. I haven't watched NXT since like they went to NXT 2.0. Then I haven't really watched NXT that much. Um, Although I do know that they have got rid of the 2.0 stuff and now they're just NXT, and they're all right now. I just don't have time to watch NXT nowadays.
Hmm.
But yeah, no. I don't think Bailey and Lyra will win here because it just doesn't make sense for me. Like Lyra being a double champion, it just wouldn't make sense, and they don't need to win the tag team belts. I just feel like it is just leading up to a heel turn, whether it's Lyra or whether it's Bailey. I feel like Bailey's more likely, but would not be too shocked if Lyra is the one to turn. But yeah, definitely Liv and Raquel to retain.
I don't think Lala will turn heel. I don't think she'll turn. I can't wait until Jada Parker though. Her mic skill, yeah, her mic skills are really good. I've with NXT, I watch clips here and there. I just do not like it. Like Felix, I don't have time to watch it. I just don't have time to watch it. Um, the Fatal Four Way, which makes sense. This actually makes sense, and I'm not mad with it. Braun Breaker defended against Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. Um, I like how they have the Judgment Day story in this, and you can tell it's going to explode. Little, it's been doing it little by little for the longest and everything. This is this is going to be a very good match, and since it's a fatal four way, I guess it is like a anything kind of goes match, so they can use weapons because it's no DQ.
Yeah,
Um, I think this is want Penta to win. Think Dom's going to win. Um, I don't think Finn is going to win.
no,
I don't.
Finn is the least likely. I think Finn is the least likely to. As much as I hate to say, because I love Finn, I
I
think
love Finn too. And I don't think Braun's going to retain because I think he's going to move up to the world title picture and everything. Um, and Josh probably ain't going to like this, but I want Dom to win. I actually want Dom to win this. I'm gonna be quite honest, because they haven't done much with him, and now he's getting little, excuse me, little here and there. But I think Dom is winning, and I think he's pinning Finn Balor for it too. I didn't see his comment beforehand. So yeah, I think Dom is pinning Finn because that makes sense to put the nail in the coffin for Finn Balor to be in the Judgment Day or vice versa. I don't know how that's going to work yet, but I got Dom winning, but I think it's either Dom or Penta in my opinion. So I got
yeah.
Dom.
Yeah, I fully agree. Like, yeah, we've been mostly agreeing with each other. I think the only one we've
I hate
gone
that.
different
I
on.
hate this. We don't need to agree, man.
Yeah, the only one we got different on is two. We gone different on Charlotte and Tiffany, and we gone different on the triple threat men's match. Um, yeah, but yeah, I agree with you on this one. I think Dom's winning. For the same reasons. Finn Balor's taking the pin. I think Dom is pinning Finn Balor to get him out of the Judgment Day, and because like there's been this tease of like this new member of the Judgment Day, right? There's been this tease of like a new member, and Finn Balor's always been trying to like disregard it and all that. I just feel like the writing's on the wall for Finn Balor, and it has been for a while. So yeah. I wouldn't mind Penta winning the Intercontinental Championship. Would not mind it at all. Because I love Penta, but I just don't think it's happening. I would love if Finn Balor won it as a shock, but nah, ain't gonna happening. Finn Balor is just always booked to lose, and I hate that for him. Like seriously, Finn Balor is the biggest loser on the roster. He just loses, 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 loses. I hate it for him. Like honestly, he's been that way for a while. Like even going back to like when he had the feud with Edge, like he should have beat Edge at WrestleMania. Edge
Yeah,
even
I agree.
admitted he wanted to put Finn Balor over, but Vince was like, "Nah, nah, like Edge, you gotta go over, man. You gotta go over." So yeah, no. As much as I would love to see Finn win, he's definitely taking the pin. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dom to win the match. And like you said, Braun is going to lose the belt to go up to the world title scene. If they do push Finn Balor out, do you all see him possibly becoming face? Yes, yes.
Yeah,
If yeah, if Dom turns on Finn, kicks him out of the Judgment Day, pins him to win the title, then yeah, Finn Balor will be back to being the babyface, and hopefully gets his old theme back and
yeah,
gets that whole gimmick back and gets a push. Please give him a push. Give him a push, please. Like
I agree. I
honestly.
agree. I
So
agree.
yeah. But yeah, Dom Mysterio to win the Intercontinental Championship, and honestly, I'd be happy for him. I feel like he deserves it with all the heel character work he's done for like the last couple of years.
Yeah,
So yeah, give him the title.
it'll be his first major. It's going to help Dom by costing Finn. I could see that. It's
Yeah.
going to be his major first title on the main roster if he does win. WWE Women's World Championship Triple Threat. Io Sky defends against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
This is going to be interesting. I wonder if we're going to go different on this one. I wonder if we're going to go different. I feel like we might be
well,
here.
you have the floor to go first since I went first for the Fatal Four Way.
Okie dokie dokie. Okay, so this, in my opinion, is the most unpredictable match of the night, or it's arguably there. It's like top two. This could go either way. I can probably come up with a good argument for each woman winning. This is a potential match of the night. Rhea Ripley get her title back. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. See, okay, okay, so Io, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley. And before I get into the outcome and the match and all that, I'm gonna go over the build, and I'm gonna have this like one minor critique. Rhea Ripley is a crybaby. Like, why did they have Rhea Ripley be a crybaby throughout this entire feud?
I don't
They
know.
made they made Rhea so unlikable in this feud. Or Io Sky retain. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I my biggest gripe with this storyline is that they have made Rhea look like such a crybaby and just made her so unlikable. Like I want to be behind Rhea, but they just made her so unlikable that I just feel why is she whining so much? Like the whole Bianca Belair thing and being like the whole Bianca costing Rhea thing in the one match against Io. That was from Rhea like just being so like I don't know, just focusing so much on Bianca and not on Io, and then blaming Bianca for it. So yeah, Rhea just overall has been so unlikable. Um, I think EO needs to win. In my opinion, she's been put into the back of the picture. This needs to change with her winning on the big stage, but they can't screw Bianca's WrestleMania streak. See, then this is what I was going to go on here. So I can come up with a good argument for each woman winning. EO can win because for me, the big argument for Io winning is that she's been Josh said, she's been put in the back burner of this entire feud. This entire feud has just been about Rhea and Bianca focusing on each other, but like completely ignoring Io and disrespecting Io. And I just feel like this match could be a case of Io takes advantage of that in the match where Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair will have tunnel vision on each other, just focus on each other for the entire match, and Io will take advantage of that and it will cost both of them the match, and Io will retain. I could see that happening. I can also come up with a good argument of Bianca Belair winning because she has the WrestleMania streak, and she's very popular in the women's division, and it is a good possibility that she could win at WrestleMania and be the champion going forward. But then I could also see a good argument for Rhea Ripley winning and sort of getting over her, I guess, weaknesses of like just mentally wise, just like not focusing on the title. And they could have it be like, okay, I won't just focus on Bianca, I will focus on Io as well, and then I'll get the title back. They could come up with a redemption storyline for Rhea as well. But I do think Rhea is the least likely, that I will say. Um, I'm personally going to go with Io Sky to retain because I just feel like the storyline has just been building to that whole like disregarding Io, disrespecting Io, ignoring Io, not underrating, overestimating Io. Um, and then yeah, it's going to cost both Rhea and Bianca the match, and Io Sky is going to retain. That's what I personally think. She didn't have to cry to get added to the match. Why would they make her look like that? That's just my big critique. Like they could have had Rhea added into this match in such a better way instead of her just whining and complaining throughout the entire feud. Like it just made her so unlikable. Bianca's gonna win and Rhea get another shot on Bianca. Story wise, it makes so much sense to have Io win. Two competitors doubt her ability. They focus on each other, and Io swoops in and lays them both out. Exactly. Like Io is one of the most talented women on the entire roster. You're gonna need to focus on her in order to take the title off her. At least that's what I feel like in my head. Anyway, if you focus on Rhea or Rhea focuses on Bianca and completely ignore Io should have enough wrestling IQ to take them both out and win the match and make them cost each other. So yeah, Io Sky retains is what I think.
So I don't really have much to say with this because you basically described everything and laid out everything pretty perfect. Um, yeah, we're not different on this prediction as well. I had in back of my mind probably for the last couple of weeks. I'm like Io's retaining. To me, it makes more sense because she's in the back burner and they're just tossing her, hand in the face so many times. So I have Io winning. I don't see Rhea winning. I could see where Bianca does win, but I think Io will win, obviously. So
I just don't see like I just don't see how like if Io doesn't win this match, like how would this storyline benefit her in any way? It would just make her look so bad. Like to be completely disregarded and ignored, like she's nothing, and she's the champion for
mhm,
weeks in this feud, just to lose the title at WrestleMania. Like it just wouldn't make any sense.
yeah,
Like
well,
you gotta have her go over in this sort of scenario, and then eventually may lose the belt down the line, and then you can do the big Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match, maybe at next year's WrestleMania, or maybe at SummerSlam, or something like that. Like that match, that one-on-one match is definitely building to
yeah.
it. It's
What's
just
crazy?
you got a slow build to it. What's crazy is Rhea doubting Io. Rhea has never been able to beat her. Exactly.
Yeah,
But Rhea's not thinking about that. Rhea's just focused on Bianca, that she's not thinking about Io at all, even though she's never been able to beat her. And people
yeah,
are saying, like, oh, Rhea should win because they should have the storyline of Rhea finally is able to beat Io. If they win a one on one match at WrestleMania, sure, maybe. But with Bianca being in there, you gotta have a focus on Bianca and have that be the story again, because that's what this whole storyline's been about. And then you gotta have Io capitalize on that and retain. Because you gotta have Io look good in this story too. You can't just have her look shit this entire storyline. Otherwise
right.
it just looks really bad for her. So yeah, Io's retaining, in my
So
opinion.
so we both got Io. We don't have anything changed. Okay, the main event of the true main event. Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against John Cena. So I will start off with this, and I don't want to rush this, but I'm going to have to because I will have to leave my house for work very soon. So that's one thing. I don't want to rush it, but I'm going to have to. I think this story has been decent. I think John had to get out his frustrations the first 2 weeks, and I liked how Cody came in when it was, I think they were in London and was like, we've heard you talk for long enough. They went back and forth. Cody Rhodes hold his own to John Cena on the mic, which if you think you would have said that 5 years ago, if they were in a segment, you'd be like, no, there's no way. So
Mm.
that's one thing to me. It's or maybe longer than 5 years, but you get the gist what I'm saying. Um, how will because Travis Scott be there, The Rock will be there, and I think we got to have someone on Cody's side. And I think that glass is finally breaking. It should have broke last year, but guess what? It's breaking this year. He's already there for the WWE World. He ain't gonna leave Las Vegas for this. And Josh, this is where I'm going to go the opposite for you. I think Cody Rhodes will retain, and I don't think John Cena's winning 17 at Mania.
Ooh.
And and my thing is, I I think John would prefer winning 17 as a good
Baby
guy.
face.
I think so. I'm gonna go with Cody retaining. I think Cody's going to retain. I think a lot of people think John's going to win, which that would be the notion, and I understand it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm going back and forth on this. I like seriously, like one half of me says Cena's gonna win, and the other half is saying Cody.
So
I
so my notion for this is, remember Randy said he's coming for Cody. I think we get Randy Cody at Backlash. That's where I'm going with this.
hmm. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, you what you said just then about like Randy and Cody happening after after WrestleMania. I can see that happening because then Randy wins the belt off Cody, and then maybe they could have Cena win the belt off Randy Orton down the line and have win 17 off Randy Orton. As like a big like sort of like a all circles meet kind of thing, like it all goes round. Like it just would sort of make sense. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah. With what you said, I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes to retain. I had my mind sort of more on Cena winning than I had Cody for like a little bit, and then you just sort of brought me over to the Cody side. So yeah, I do fully agree with you. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes retain. The Rock and Travis Scott's gonna get involved. Um, well, at least The Rock definitely will. Travis Scott maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I do think the Glass Shadow will happen this year. Like you said, it should have happened last year. I don't know why it didn't happen last year, but the Undertaker was still a fantastic moment. But we all were expecting the Glass Shadow. But our patience will be rewarded. It will happen this year, and that face down when it happens, oh, it's gonna feed millions. It's gonna feed millions and millions. But yeah, it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes to retain just about.
Okay, wait a minute. Cody going to lose because Stone Cold going to hit a stunner on him? No, that's not going to happen.
No, 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 that ain't happening.
My thing is Cena has to win as a heel. I don't think he has to. I really don't think he has to, because if you think about it, this ain't the Cena. This ain't John Cena. Guess what? It's The Rock controlling his soul.
Mm.
So this ain't the true John Cena, and everyone knows that. So I think something's going to hit onto John eventually and everything. So it's going to happen. Mark my words. Yeah, I'll definitely remember this.
I'm gonna put it out right here. If Stone Cold stunners Cody and then Cena wins off that, I will get Cody Rhodes tattoo on my neck. I'm gonna put it down right here. If that happens, I'll get Cody Rhodes tattoo on my neck. There you go. I've said it. I've
Oh
put it
my
out
god.
there.
Dude, look. look. I will
It
never
ain't
do a
happening.
bet. I will never say anything of a bet like this. but you were wild for that because you never know. But man, that shouldn't happen.
It
But
would. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. I'm
but
not
we both
worried in the slightest.
but we both got Cody winning. I kind of turned you into that side, but that's my logic. I think they're gonna have Randy Cody at Backlash, and I'm going to see it in person. So
Cena's gonna turn hell. You mean heel? He already has turned heel. Cena's already a heel, dude.
I don't know. But that's it for WrestleMania. If you want to talk about your
Heel
Liverpool
on the Rock.
Hill on the uh, I don't know about
So
that.
then the Rock would be babyface. No, no. The Rock is the final boss. He's the final boss. So no, he's the Rock is a heel,
Yeah.
and so is Cena. If Cena were to turn heel on the Rock, he would be a babyface. Then he would turn babyface on the Rock, which may happen down the line, but I don't see it. No, I don't see it happening at WrestleMania. I feel
Um.
like yeah, it's just gonna lead to Rhodes retaining, Randy and Rhodes at Backlash, and then Randy wins the belt, and then maybe Cena and Randy down the line. Maybe it's SummerSlam or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how I see the timeline potentially. That's it for the WrestleMania stuff. You want to talk about Liverpool real quick, and then I've got to get out of here.
How long do you have? Like how many minutes do you have?
Uh, Not that long.
Okay, okay, so I'll just quickly run it down. So yeah, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk have signed new contracts, which is what we've been waiting for fucking months, and they took their time with it. But yeah, it's finally done and official. Virgil van Dijk was announced just today. Salah a few days ago. Um, Salah's on now. I think he's on like 480 grand per week. Um, Van Dijk is on about like 400 grand a week now, which is crazy. Um, So yeah, pretty much that is done. And in terms of the Premier League title race, because that well, I say title race, there's no longer a title race now.
Oh
Let's
no
be
no no no
let's be real.
no no.
We pretty much have it won. We just need to get two more wins, and we are officially champions. And that is at the latest. So like we could even possibly win it in a few days. Like if Ipswich beat Arsenal and we beat Leicester, we're champions. But we would need Ipswich to beat Arsenal, which I don't think will happen anyway. So I think it'll go to next week, where we will face Tottenham.
Oh shoot! What happened?
Oh, no idea. Um, but yeah, if we beat Leicester and then we beat Tottenham next week, we'll officially have won the league, which would be a huge accomplishment. Our 20th league title, tying with Manchester United. Fuck you, Manchester United. Um, and yeah, I'm not gonna go too much in depth and all that because I know you gotta go to work and all that. So yeah, so hopefully by next podcast, maybe we'll do a podcast shortly after WrestleMania or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe we'll announce.
yeah. I would be down for doing a full recap and review of the show, and then we can talk about it a lot more because I didn't realize the time.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully by that point, then we'll officially be Premier League champions, and then I can talk a lot more about the future, about like what's gonna happen maybe in the summer, players going, players coming in, etc., etc. All very exciting things. I've got a lot of things to talk about when it comes to that because it's gonna be a big summer apparently. Like words coming from Van Dyke himself, some journalists who are pretty like reliable, all saying that apparently this is going to be a huge summer in terms of players going and players staying. There's going to be a little bit of a rebuild, so it's going to be a change of squad here. So, but I'm glad to see that we're at least going to have Salah and Van Dijk here next season. So, all good. That's what I really want to see happen because we need them if we're going to try and challenge and retain our title next season. So, yeah, but that's that. Yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about for now. So, yeah,
But
I'm gonna let you go to work.
yeah, unfortunately, I have to. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Appreciate y'all for coming in and everything, and can't wait for WrestleMania this weekend. All right. Hope you guys have a great one, and see you next time.
Enjoy WrestleMania, guys.